flies at dawn.
Falcon flies at dawn.
Thanks, man.
Who's coming? Oh, Falcon flies at dawn.
Yeah, as always, thanks for joining us and your interest in our program. I would be remiss if I obviously didn't recognize it's Veterans Day, and having spent time on a couple of different service academies campuses, including the Naval Academy, which was one of my first coaching jobs. Really thankful for the job that veterans have done for us to have the life we have. Heading to the fourth quarter of our season. As I always talk about, the fourth quarter is a big deal around here, and it's important for us to do everything we can with this opportunity against a really good Illinois team to take advantage of this opportunity as we start the fourth quarter. Obviously, I spent time at Illinois as a young coach, first place that I got a chance to call plays. And so for my family outside of this area, it's the one area, if you were to ask my two younger kids where they're from, they say they're from Champaign, Illinois. So obviously a place that is near and dear to my family. They're top 5 Big Ten in scoring, scoring defense. It'll be a tremendous challenge on the road, but one that we're excited to have the opportunity. Despite a few challenging weeks here the last 4 or 5 weeks, our team keeps showing up and giving the type of effort that we need to have. They're coming in and they're putting in the work. There's nothing changed in that building and the attitude, the way they've approached it, and I really can tell you that this team is trending in the right direction. I'll continue to pour into this team and its development as we do each and every week. Illinois obviously will be a tough task on the road, but one that I know that our team is excited about the opportunity. And again, being able to put the last 4 or 5 weeks behind us and get back on the right side of the ledger. By Saturday, our guys are going to be prepared physically, mentally, emotionally to go play well. Game captains leading into the game are Dante Joyner, Jalil Farouk, and Eli Mason. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Hey, Mike, with 3 games left to get bowl eligible, how much of the focus is that? Is that the top priority for you guys to get there?
I mean, it's to take advantage of the next opportunity. And obviously, the things that we can control is the ability to extend our season, which is something that you would want. Those practices, as I've said, are invaluable. And so, yeah, priority number 1 is to get back on the right side of the ledger this week. And then priority number 2 is how do we build on that.
So what are some of the challenges of keeping players engaged when you're in the middle of a kind of a long losing streak?
It hasn't been a challenge with this team, and that's, I think, a lot because of the work that was done on the front end. Maybe for you guys it's new, but for us, understanding that we've got 64 guys that weren't Terps a year ago, we've created an expectation, which I admire, and I'm excited about that expectation. And now what we've got to do is just continue to work and develop these players, and they've continued to show up. They're bought in. We've put a lot of work into making sure that the foundation of it is strong for tough times, and we'll keep doing that.
Mike, despite the last 5 games, certain areas on this team, I'm sure progress has been made from what you've been able to see out there on the field. What have you seen that has, progressed that you've liked as things have been percolating?
I think the big thing is that from an overall, when you coach an inexperienced group, you find yourself plugging holes because the experience and the time is what is not in your favor. And everything that we go in and emphasize, I could tell you a week ago, I said for us to get the run game going, we needed who to run the ball? Malik. And Malik ran the ball, and then the normal run game got going. And so we've plugged that hole, and then we throw for 98, and we actually throw an interception before the half. And so we're going to constantly be coaching, teaching, plugging holes with an inexperienced team until they kind of can do it on their own. And so to me, I've seen the growth in that when we emphasize something, they get it. Now, we have to emphasize everything, and with an inexperienced team, it's hard to do that.
And their passing game, Altmaier to Beatty, that connection, what makes that such?
I mean, Altmaier's a veteran guy, man. He's played a lot of football. You look at his toolbox, he's got a lot of mileage and a lot of he's faced a lot of fronts and a lot of coverages and a lot of things that he can lean on the experience that comes with being a veteran quarterback in the Big Ten. And I can tell you that his ability with his arm, but also he made some plays with his feet a week ago or 2 weeks ago as they come off their bye against Rutgers.
Coach, amidst the losing streak, how do you balance developing the younger guys and sticking to your vision while also trying to win games right now and make a bowl game?
There's no balance. The goal is to win the game. We prepare 1-week seasons. I know it sounds cliche, but for me, that's what it's been about. We have processes that allow us to put ourselves in a position to win that one game, and it's been trying, but with the inexperienced team that continues to bring the energy. That's the part where, if there's anything that when you want to ask about this team, the energy of it is different, and so that's where I see the progress made from a connectivity standpoint.
Hey, Mike, do you feel like you're coaching for your job over these last 3 weeks?
No.
No. Do you feel like you deserve to keep this job?
Yes.
Why?
I'm the head coach at the University of Maryland.
Coach, I know you talked about Illinois' offense, but just plugging holes on with an inexperienced team. I know the missed tackling. I know Antoine Raymond did a good job just picking up yards after contact. So I guess kind of through practice of these last 3 weeks, I guess, do you feel like there's anything different that you guys do to maybe kind of approach or to kind of clean that up?
The missed tackles have been a byproduct because they've gone up and down if you track them. I know we do, and the knowledge is if you track, when we have a lot of missed tackles, they usually rush for a lot of yards. And a lot of that happens in the attrition battle, which is keeping guys healthy, keeping guys bigger bodies inside. And so the things we're doing is we're doing every single thing we can to make sure that the players we need to win on Saturday are able to help us win on Saturday. And that means we've had to adjust practices. It's one of the first times I've been in Spiders for 2 straight days. Normally Tuesday is a day you got to bang, and you're not going to bite your nose off to spite your face. And so we're going to continue, and that's been the chess match for me, is putting together a plan to make sure that we can get the healthy bodies to the game for us to have success on Saturday.
Coach, post-game you mentioned playing for the seniors now. I wanted to ask, what about this senior class for you this year is special for you? What sticks out to them that maybe is a little bit more special than other groups that you've had in the past?
Yeah, I mean, it's early. We got a senior night, I guess, next week. But I can tell you, as I've always said, I came here to do good work, and this senior class is a byproduct of the good work. When I see Shalik Knox going across the stage, that's the good works, and seeing him take the brown leather ball and create opportunities for him that coming out of North Carolina, that's good work. When you know Octavian Smith Jr.'s story and how his mom and his grandmom, who was his big Y, and to see him be able to become the man that he's become, that's what it's about for me. That's what the good work is, and that's why these kids show up to play.
Are there any other special stories in this senior group for you? I know you mentioned Shalik, Octavian. Obviously, Isaiah Richards Sr. this year has a story of his own. Alan Haran. Who kind of else sticks out to you?
Yeah, they all got stories. I mean, one of my favorite is Ethan Goff. All right, half of you guys know who Ethan Goff is. Taylor, you know who Ethan Goff is? Yeah. So Ethan Goff was a walk-on who, from the day he got on this campus, has been a starter. He's got a couple of degrees. He's one of the best leaders on our program. But because he plays long snapper, people don't know about him. And Ethan has had more impact on this program. So those are the type of stories when you talk about doing good work, that's what it is all about.
Coach, my question's about the seniors, and you talked about how everyone's playing for them. Mm-hmm. What does that look like in practice this week? And how do you get those guys that light to shine on them in this last couple games?
Well, I think, most of the seniors are some guys that have a lot of mileage on their bodies, and so this is the time of year traditionally where you start to decrease their amount of volume they take in practice so that their game volume increases, basically. And so what you're seeing now is somewhat of the seniors making sure they're staying sharp with their tools, but some of these younger players that have been thrust in there because of some of the attrition that goes along with being in the Big Ten are taking more reps, and now you're starting to see that. I can't say we're young anymore. We're just inexperienced because we're this far in the season where younger players now have game opportunities.
Coach, Malik has mentioned a few times now that he hasn't lost this much in his career. Just as someone who won 3 straight titles in high school, now is kind of dealing with this for the first time. How do you feel like he's grappled with that?
Trey Reddick won 36 straight games. This is a team full of winners.
Is it frustrating for them, do you think, or how do you think they're dealing with it?
I think they're dealing with it just great. It creates some toughness in every aspect, not just for football, but as I've said, I've done a little bit harder.
Hey, Coach. Wanted to ask you about time of possession. I think you guys are last in the Big Ten. You have over 300 rushing yards against Rutgers. They still had it almost 10 more minutes. Just what do you chalk that up to, and how are you guys working to improve in that area?
Yeah, it's not something you typically try to improve upon. I mean, it naturally happens. It happens when you're able to run the ball. I think the big thing is now you look at time of possession, but our explosive plays went up. So now when we got more explosive plays, that means that's less time of possession. So we can, again, if you can look at the stat sheet, it'll give you knowledge. Time of possession is important, but some of it is based on, we had, I think, the average 10 yards a rush, which is one of the largest in the history of Maryland history, and time of possession will shrink because of that.
Do you think that's having maybe a negative effect on the defense, though, as they're being asked to do more, maybe?
I think time of possession on defense is part of them, too. That's getting off the field on third down. And if you go back and look at how we haven't played good third down defense the last few weeks, some of it's self-inflicted. So, again, be careful with how you read those things. And the wisdom is we got to be able to sustain drives on offense. Now, if we take the explosives, I'm going to take the explosives. Defensively, we got to get off the field on third down so that they don't extend drives, which extends time of possession, 3 more opportunities. So the math is mathing. We got to run the ball better, which we did a week ago. And on defense, we got to get off the field and stop the run get off the field and stop the run.
You just mentioned stopping the run. Obviously, the last 2 games, 367 yards against Indiana and 256 yards against Rutgers. Is there some type of change in strategy to defend the run to limit the amount of yards the opponent's getting over the next 3 games?
Yeah, I mean, you can choose to sell out to stop the run, which we've been a man team. I mean, you go back and look at how we played the run earlier in the year. I had given a tremendous amount of credit. Our defense stood tall when our offense was sputtering, and that is the attrition. Right now, I don't get up here and give the injury report, but if you do your research, which I'm sure you guys are capable of doing, we're banged up front in the front 7 and have been for about 3 or 4 games. And I stand up here and we mask over that we're banged up because nobody cares. I care because I want to get these guys in position to win. And we've got to develop some of these guys that now are thrust into the role to stop the run. But prior to us being banged up, look at the stats of how we played the run compared to where we are now. My job is to fix it. That's what we're working on doing, and we're going to have to do it this week against Illinois.
Hey, Coach, in the back. How you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up? So I got a question about the seniors. I'm interested to know, with those who have aspirations of playing at the next level, kind of what are those conversations or challenges like, of keeping your mind focused on the task at hand versus also preparing to get to the next level?
Yeah, and that's where being a pro has been modeled, because you look at a guy like Ty Felton a year ago, what he went through, similar to what Octavian Smith is going through, and Ty continued to model what a pro looks like. I have a conversation with Jalen Husky actually on the bus on the way back, where I said, you know what, Jalen, now is the time where you need to model for number 33, Masai Delone. This is the time where I need you to model for number 33 what it looks like to be a pro, to finish, all these intrinsic values that this program teaches. So these guys understand that, they learn that, and you'll continue to see that.
Mike, I want to begin with a goofy question. With Thanksgiving approaching, what are you thankful for?
For being a head football coach at the University of Maryland.
And then, last week, Jalen and Isaiah were talking up there, and they were saying that they're basically playing for you. How gratifying is it when your players say something like that?
I don't like that. I'm a big boy. I've been a big boy a long time. I've done a lot harder things in my life than deal with a 5-game losing streak and have to answer questions about what I've done. If you could do research, I'll tell you, if you could read, you could have knowledge, and you'll see why the question you ask, you'll find the answer, but you're going to have to read. And so when you hear those things, it's encouraging because that means I've had a positive impact on the lives of those two guys. That's doing good work. I'm here to do good work.
Is it possible that could be a motivation for them? You know, in terms of, hey, we want to play well so that
We don't do
Mike stays
external
here.
motivations in this program, man. It's a bond. I mean, they know I'm gonna coach them up until the day I'm not allowed to, and they're gonna play hard for me until the day they are done playing for me. And those are the type of bonds I make in this business. And again, I've done the good work throughout 37 years of it. Thanks.